And as promised, we are back to our live broadcast coming to you from Barcelona. I am Steve Moulter. The Cisco TV studio is set up right in the middle of the hub. Do you see all these people milling about? They're all waiting for those doors to open, and we literally are going to shove thousands of people through a couple of doors into our keynote space for our closing keynote of the event with Dr. Larry Brilliant. This is the countdown. Dr. Brilliant is here to talk to us about the greatest accomplishments in medical history. Rob talked about it a moment ago. This is where it gets personal. We can talk technology all day long. In the end, these are all human stories. Everything we've been bringing to you throughout the week here in this broadcast and all across Cisco Live, all of this technology, it just comes down to how is it meaningful to us? How does it support us as a global community? So it's really not just technology, it's the people behind the technology. Why do we do what it is that we do? And all of these stories, if they don't have meaning, they don't hit us where we live. Now, if you don't know Dr. Larry Brilliant, he is an epidemiologist, a technologist, he's a philanthropist, an author, a patent holder, a CEO, and one of the coolest things, he was one of the original leaders of the World Health Organization's smallpox eradication program. If you follow any news on the WHO, boy, what this man has done is quite brilliant. He was also the inaugural executive director of Google.org, and that was the charitable arm of Google that was established back in 2005, and he was the first CEO of Skoll Global Threats Fund. That was established in 2009 by eBay founder Jeff Skoll, which is really amazing, addressing climate change and global pandemics, water security, nuclear proliferation, conflict in the Middle East. He's a remarkable, remarkable man, and today, Brilliant serves on a multitude of boards. I'm not going to go into them now. So often, we think of medical successes as coming from the healthcare community only. It's done by doctors. Yes, those are certainly important things that doctors do, but Rob mentioned this a moment ago as well, that Brilliant is not just a physician, he's also a lifelong wannabe techie. And his view is that every now and then you get gaps. Gaps where the medical community is not able to solve the problem entirely by themselves. Their expertise is only going to get them so far, and what happens then is you get all these unsung engineering heroes who step in to fill in those gaps and create those pivotal, historic points when global medicine efforts need to be completed. They may have faltered just a little bit, or they're not getting where they need to go. That's where technology can step in. His goal with all of these thousands of people who are about to head into the keynote is to bring those two pieces of the story together, the human and the technology, because in the end, they really are one and the same. That is the story that we are here to tell. And again, that is coming up, according to my clock, in just a little under 30 minutes, at 4:45. All right, so we are going to roll into a short video that we want all of you to watch. Remember, this is about how technology impacts human lives. We are committed to positively impacting 1 billion people by the year 2025 here at Cisco. We tell it to you again and again and again, but we are the bridge to the possible. Right now, we want to show you exactly why. Watch this and we'll be right back.
Between what is hoped for and what can be, there's a bridge. Between the aspirations of a ball club and the greatest sports venue in America, there's a bridge. Between chaos and wonder, endangered and protected, there's a bridge. Built on technology that can solve, create, heal, inspire, and secure. A bridge. There from the beginning to where we stand today, and where we will go from here. One company, one promise. If you can imagine it, we will build the bridge to get you there. Cisco. The bridge to possible.
You have absolutely no idea how powerful that video is to how many people. I love it. Every time I watch it, I think it tells such a crystal clear story of the vision that we have here at Cisco could connect people all over the world. And you saw so many technologies in that role, whether it was on the WebEx side or what was happening in the port of Rotterdam, which we touched on earlier, but all over the world, we are the bridge and we're making a huge difference. You are a huge part of that. So again, thank you for being part of this event. All right, we're going to head away from the studio for just a couple of moments. We're going to head out to my buddy, Agri Misabayeva, who is out in the world of solutions in one of my favorite areas, tactical ops. Oh, there you are. I can see Agrim out there. Hey, friend.
Hi, Steve Malter. Thank you. I'm here at World of Solutions, and I'm at the Tactical Operations booth. I've got Linus Daugsha with me. Hi, Linus. How are you?
Hi, I'm wonderful. It's great to be here.
Thank you for being here. So, Linus Daugsha is actually a volunteer for the Tactical Operations team. Could you tell us more about what you do for the Tactical Operations teams and what does it mean for Cisco?
Absolutely. I'm one of 350 volunteers worldwide. If there is a natural or man-made disaster or humanitarian crisis and we're invited, we can help with communications. What we found is that before people ask for food or water or medicine these days, they're asking for communications because then logistics for everything else falls into place. We work with government organizations, with first responders to provide communication support during disasters.
Thank you. That sounds great. And I think what other company is better at communications than Cisco, right? So I think this is really should be our responsibility in a way. So could you give us an example of a recent crisis where Cisco helped?
Absolutely. Well, we've been doing this for 14 years, and we have over 50 deployments that are emergency deployments. We were deployed, for example, and are continue to be deployed with the humanitarian crisis in Greece, Slovenia, Serbia, Germany. So imagine when somebody gets off the rubber boat, they put their child on the sand. They open up a Ziploc bag, take out the Android phone, and get onto WhatsApp and say, "I made it." And then that's the most important thing for them. And then somebody else says, "I made it as well." Well, I'm in this building. And the other person says, "I'm in that building as well." And we help them connect.
Right.
Refugee status and then move on. So that's an example of a humanitarian crisis. But earthquakes, typhoons, wildfires, these are also the sort of things that we try to help with.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. And we really appreciate the work that you're doing. Keep it up. Sounds great. I think that really falls into the whole vision of Cisco and the Bridge to Possible campaign where we are aiming at impacting 1 billion people in this world. Well, now back to you, Steve, at the studio.
Thank you so much, Igor. Appreciate it. Every Cisco Live, we get an opportunity to talk with the guys from the TAC Ops team. They have different setups each time, and they're always so, again, meaningful to everything that's going on in the public safety realm, emergency needs of first responders, humanitarian organizations, that continuity of government, right? Being able to connect those intergovernmental agencies and respond to a crisis, and then that critical infrastructure, hospitals, utilities, essential services that communities depend on. These guys do incredible work each and every day, right, Nish?
Yes, absolutely. You can see at Cisco Live, obviously we have a great network here, so the Network Operations Center is a great place that people can go and meet the engineers and actually learn how Cisco's built and deployed that as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it all sort of ties together, right? It's how we respond to needs and demands within the world. These guys are doing it on the emergency side, the network engineers are doing it here for us. It all connects together, and it's all based on communication for human need, which
Absolutely.
is really what it is all about.
And I love how it's like the pop-up side of it. So this wasn't here last week. This event was not, didn't exist. None of these booths around us were here. The TV studio wasn't here. And it's amazing how in such a short amount of time they can build it up. It can be so reliable, and it can deliver amazing experiences for everyone that's at the show as well.
It's so true. It's so true. Should we let's learn a little bit more about the NOC, shall we?
Yes, definitely. Let's take a look at this video inside the NOC.
Well, hey guys, we're here in the World of Solutions, and I get a chance for a behind-the-scenes look to understand what goes into the Network Operations Center, the very foundation of technology that every single vendor and attendee depends on, and we certainly do at Cisco TV as well. And I've got a chance, Tobias.
It's Tobias.
Tobias, okay,
yes.
I'll make sure I said it correctly, is here. He was one of the advanced team members. He and one other person have been here for almost over 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Setting this up
Exactly.
to get the network running. And so I want to let's do this chronologically, if that's okay with you, and to kind of go back and go, when it comes to planning for an event like this, when do you guys start?
Realistically, I think it was my colleague Remco. He starts around, I think, summer, already planning for the event, looking at the floor plans, having an idea what needs to go where. But the network itself, we started in December.
Okay.
We took 2 times out of our schedules. We met in Amsterdam, physically gathered together, with a core group of engineers all over Cisco and pre-stage the network, build the network, set up the cores, tested it all out, and then packed it back
Excellent.
up to ship it over to Barcelona.
But you guys use the latest scalable and tested technology similar to what our customers might do, and you're saying you guys built the entire network out in the lab, make sure it's all working and performing to the specifications that you have set for yourselves, and then you pack it all back up and ship it out at the appropriate time to rebuild on site. Did I get that right?
We are happy that we don't need to buy at list price, so
Right.
we have a good chunk of gear that we can use and have at our disposal. We are having around nearly 500 switches here on site because we rebuilt the whole network.
Right.
The wired network at least, we just took over some access points from the venue,
Okay.
but the wired network is all done by Cisco
Okay.
in this 2 weeks time frame.
Yeah.
And you're right, we are using latest technology. We are using the Catalyst 9500
Okay, nice.
and the 9300 for the first time.
That's nice to hear. I did not realize you're using those. Okay, 92 and 95s.
Last year we used 6500 and we know that a lot of customers rely on the 6500, so did
Right.
we. It's a great platform, it gave us the scale we needed.
Yep.
And this year one big change for us was that we are going IPv4, IPv6 dual stack.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, that means that every client that is dual stack enabled will not have one IP address but 4. So that means you need to have double the, 4 times the TCAM size.
Yeah.
And that's why we are using the 9500H high performance, the UADP3.
Excellent. Okay, so just getting an idea real quick, we get spoiled here at the load that you guys can handle because you go to other conferences and this kind of investment's not made, even other networking conferences. From a wireless perspective, which tends to be the first place most of us notice if something's working or not, you guys went 5G only this year. I heard there was some 2.4 in the background.
Yeah, so
But what do we need to know about the wireless?
Yeah, so the wireless, it's all Cisco access points, of course, but we are sticking to a local mode, meaning all the wireless traffic is backhauled to the central controllers,
Okay.
and then it's dropped off to the 9500 I talked about.
Okay.
We are doing 5 gigahertz only for the main conference SSID,
Right.
so to prevent devices from needing to roam over to 2.4. But we also provide 2.4 as a separate SSID for legacy clients. But the statistics show that nearly, I think it was 86% of clients
Yeah.
are now on 11AC.
Yep. We're
So that's
fully on the 5 and
Yeah,
supporting that as well.
So that's quite impressive.
Yeah, maybe in a couple of years we're going to start seeing 2.4 come back, but probably not for the devices we're carrying, of course. It's going to
Yeah.
be for more of the IoT stuff. And oh, there was a story, before I forget. Yes, there was a story of you guys having a little cooling problem when you first got going. Do you mind telling me that real quick?
Oh yeah, because when we set it up all in Amsterdam, we had all the gear that we have now here around the venue.
Yeah.
We had it all in one place, and that lab completely cooling went out, so we needed to improvise. We just took a spare 6500 we had, pulled out the line cards, and just used the chassis as a fan.
Just for the fans?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
my.
yeah.
I'm sure that was a really quiet fan as well.
No, it was.
It's like you can't think when you get that kind. So
Yeah.
that's normal for you guys. You build a fully redundant network.
Yeah.
You have to be ready for every eventuality, even though you plan it to death. I'm sure that things still happen, like they would for anything, right?
Of course. So, for example, we had the problem in the labs.
Yeah.
They reimaged the laptops for 800 laptops, but they had duplicate MAC addresses on the Hyper-V network adapters.
Okay.
Okay, and you can imagine that.
Yeah, you had to work to get those all
Yeah.
reconnected. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you just never know what it's going to be.
That's the stuff that you can't plan for.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, one thing I always love, and you guys do it here as well, is you have an event that I think is already sold out, but you get all the engineers that are involved for each specialty of their technology set, and they kind of rehash the statistics and stuff like that at the end. You know, we're only on Wednesday. We've still got a full day left here, and then plus tomorrow. This is a huge event. For anybody that has a chance to come by and check out at the end of the World of Solutions, all the way inside the Cisco Showcase, I think we call it now, not the campus. Come back here to the back and you can see real-time screens, everything happening in the Network Operations Center. It's the exact same screens that they're using. All the engineers we have squirreled away underneath there somewhere in a basement. We'll get a look at that as well for you. Yeah?
We are not in the basement, actually.
It's not a basement?
No,
Oh, okay, good, correct me. Okay.
But we don't get daylight.
Okay.
It's in the back of house, near the keynote.
Okay, you
Yeah.
guys are getting spoiled. Okay, all right.
No.
That's very good. Tobias, we'll get it right. Thank
Okay,
you so much.
thank you, Rob.
Appreciate
Was
all the
a
hard
joy.
work you and your
Yeah,
team are
thank you.
doing. Guys, come check out the knock here at the back of the World of Solutions. We'll see you soon.
That was great. Thank you so much, Rob. Really appreciate it. Great information back there. Nobody really understands exactly what's involved with setting up the NOC here at this show. They get here 2 weeks in advance. They bring this extraordinary amount of equipment in. 60 people set this thing up. Once it's up and going, they've got to keep this thing rolling 24/7 throughout the entire event. The minute it's done, guess what happens? Rip it all apart, pack it up, and ship it off to the next opportunity. Thank you for the great work that you guys do. It really is very, very cool. I'm going to leave Nish alone for a minute. In just a second, we're going to come back. We're going to see some of your tweets, some of your social media. Nish is going to help support us on that, but right now we're going to do something really fun. Have you ever wondered what it takes to put this thing together? You see us out here tap dancing, doing our thing out here on the Cisco TV studio set. Well, guess what? It takes an enormous number of people and a lot of setup and a lot of power to make this whole thing happen. We're going to show you what that's all about right now. In case you didn't have enough of Rob Boyd, well, you're going to get the Rob Boyd you always dreamed of right now. He is right on the other side of the show wall. Rob, why don't you give us a run through the back of house, and this is the inside look that our viewers get that the people here at the show never get to see.
Yeah, Steve, no, that's a good way to put it. I don't know that I can actually reveal my location because I think some of this stuff is top secret, because if you wanted one place to interrupt the communication flow to what I have heard is been over 30,000 any given moment globally, this is the place to do it. So obviously you're watching us right now. If you're not watching a replay, you're watching us in the Cisco Live stream. It could be on CiscoLive.com, could be on YouTube, could be on Facebook, could be on Twitter. Actually, any number of channels on all of those areas. But this is the engineering hub. This is the equipment that there's actually a large team of people we're going to meet briefly in just a moment that come and set this up early to make sure that we can bring it all to you. It is a massive undertaking. It's like an incredible orchestra of experts in this media space that come together. Cisco TV is who's behind all of this, and then a bunch of people that come together to make it work. But I'm not going to try and go through the details because I would probably get it wrong. But basically, for you video nerds, this is your home, man. This is the stuff that's pumping it on out, but there's a lot of people that have to control it. So let's back on up here. We're going to back on out, and I'm going to sacrifice camera Steve here. We're going to pan over a little bit here, and on this room here, these guys here, they are overseeing the RF crew. So actually what we're doing right now, we are the RF crew. And so this has me and Steve right now, and we've got audio, which you can't see, and then I've got a guy making sure I'm lit correctly, but they're making sure that that's connecting. And this is the first time we've gotten to use the RF camera in in Europe. We do a couple of them in the US, and I'm hoping we're going to stick around and do this more, because this has been a lot of fun bringing this live. But also all the channels have to go out there, so they're making sure that this is happening here. They also have to watch the streams and kind of make sure the loop of the entire broadcast is coming out correctly. If we continue panning to the right, I'm as best I can do. They're kind of doing the same thing over here as well. They're switching the channels. One of the things you may not realize is it's not just about the TV broadcast from the studio or the RF camera, but all of the sessions and all of the keynote is all coordinated with another massive crew to make sure that it all comes through and gets channeled efficiently, correctly, and actually I don't think we've had a single mistake this week other than myself and my fellow host, perhaps. But these guys are making sure all that happens. Producers are coming back here, and they're actually recording and cutting a lot of the stuff you see when you see some more edited versions. We've got motion graphic artists working on their thing. Our senior executive producer, Carissa, who's another producer that's been on here for every Cisco Live I've ever been at. Todd is the man with the plan. He has always done so much for me, explained very patiently how everything works, and then is ashamed that I forget it as we start working it forward. But Todd never lets me down. I can't remember everybody's name, so just say hello if you happen to run into them. They've been very, very hard at work. We're going to back out. Actually, I'll have you follow me. We're going to come out here, and I don't want you to kind of reveal exactly where we are, because you may get a good clue here in just a second, because I'll kind of show you where we are. But since this is the last day, it may be just fine. If you'll notice this area here, and we're going to keep walking and buy some time, but over to the side here, this is the self-paced labs. And you know, one question I kind of had with the self-paced labs was, I was like, wait, can't we do all these labs at home? I didn't quite understand the value of what this was going to be. But the self-paced labs, one thing that's really interesting about them, I talked to several different attendees, and they come here because they're getting new tax situations that they can come and learn on here. And they said it gets updated on a really regular basis, and this is the only way. Is everybody enjoying their self-paced labs? Yeah, woo, see, they're a rowdy bunch. It's hard to get them to calm down and pull them out of the screen. But guys, thank you so much for learning all that stuff. And see, oh, NetVet Lounge almost is on our other side. Okay, now normally these parts of the studio together, that was master control. Behind this door is behind the studio, which is where we'll end up in just a moment. You guys have seen the studio, although you're going to see what I see in the studio, what Steve and Nigram and Nish sees. And let's hope they cleaned up. All right, so in here, let's just start with makeup, because you think that I just look good on my own, but no, that's all very special crafting. Igrim is hard at work on our next show right here. And then you'll see our senior producers over here. You guys wave to the huge, massive global audience. They want to know what's happening. This is our entire friendly crew, so they're working on the next show's rundown. In fact, I'm not entirely sure that they left. If I hadn't seen them at the bar at 11 p.m. last night, unfortunately, they had just arrived because they'd been here working on today's show rundown, which is what it's been every day. And then we have sound over here. I'm going to go right to left this time. Carrie is over here as our senior director. Is it okay to call you senior? You don't seem like a senior, but you're a director, that's for sure. And then I forget the names as we go on down. But obviously, we've got engineering of various sorts, lighting. Chris, thank you. Just shout it out, guys. Thank you, and this are all the monitors that, as they're setting up the shots, knowing what to go next, or they're getting the right thing from the RF feed. They've all got comms. That was the other position I forgot over there. So these guys all have to communicate on multiple channels so that people like me and Steve and others don't go crazy getting updates from these guys while we're trying to listen to a good guest talk. But this is where it all ends up. Well, not where it all ends up. This is where it all kind of starts, and this is the beginning of the signal path.
Hello.
You see our lovely hosts here.
See what's going on back here.
You can see Nish and Steve. Hold up your cords, guys. Show how you are connected. You're umbilically tied to that. That is to make sure that the sound is consistent all the way through. We each have earpieces in our ears so the producer can give us updates on how well we're doing on timing. And then the view that we see, so you can feel like you are one of the hosts on Cisco TV, is these lovely European camera team that we get fortunate to work with. Ali is our stage director and floor director. We've got cameras 3, 2, and 1, left to right, as well as a monitor and a timing clock to show us how well we're doing and how much time we have to kill or make up for, or whatever it may be. That is all that happens. That's the only thing we have to do. I'm not sure where I'm supposed to throw back to. Are we ending the show on this one?
No, you don't have to throw back to anything. What I love about this, so Rob started out the day, for those of you who were with us at the beginning of the broadcast, by sitting on a bike and pedaling his way to a smoothie. Now here at the end of the day, we give him 5-6 minutes to run through the back, and you get about halfway across here, and you're like, I've been talking an awful lot. You were panting this a little bit at the beginning of the day. Now at the end, I feel like we've come full circle on this broadcast.
It's a full pant day. It's a full pant day for sure. Absolutely. So are we going to close out here, or do we throw back to studio?
We're good. I'm going to come back over here. We're going to kind of set up a little new thing that Nish and I are going to do together. You can hang out here with us for a moment if you want.
This is the easiest way to actually do a toss. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to throw back over to the studio right now.
Rob, thank you so much. This is really great. And again, the people who are here at the show, they do not get to see what it is that you just saw, how the sausage is made, basically, is how you say it. But it's really amazing the number of people that it takes. We've got a crew of over 40 people here from Cisco TV who are putting this broadcast together for you and making sure you get this phenomenal content all week long. And certainly for those 4 of us who are out in front of the camera, we couldn't even begin to do it without these incredible people behind us. Rob says yes. Rob totally agrees. All right, what we're going to do right now is something kind of fun. I'm going to head over to you, Nish. We're going to talk social media a little bit. You're getting a live feed up here, right?
Yes, so many people have been using the hashtag CLEUR. Rob, you're causing a scene. Look at those lights going.
He's going to go over to the keynote.
He is. So yeah, hashtag CLER, it's going crazy at the moment, lots of people tweeting, lots of different things going on. I'm just going to go ahead and look at a couple of these tweets here. So Matthew Oostervin, I'm not sure I pronounced that right, but Steve, you're laughing, maybe I didn't pronounce that right.
Sure, close enough.
Sorry Matthew if I pronounced it wrong. He's enjoying a little coffee in the afternoon sun after a busy few days at CLEUR in the sunshine. And that's been great because we've got some great, fantastic outdoor areas here at Cisco Live. So people are, roaming around the different areas and popping out, grabbing a coffee, connecting with people, colleagues. And it's just been so much fun. You can see behind us right now, people heading to the keynote as well, lots of energy. I'm loving it.
Fabulous. Do we have anything more coming up on the feed? We're going to maybe keep getting some of those. I'm sorry, go ahead and give that to me one more time. See, we're live, you can tell. You just met Vicky a moment ago. She's going to give me one more note right now in my ear, which is... There you go.
So let's take a look.
All right, so we're going to head on over. Yeah. Is this, oh good, that's what we're looking at here on the keynote. Should we comment up a little bit on this here and what we've got going on? You go ahead and read this out.
Yeah, so starting in 30 minutes, Larry Brilliant, we talked about Dr. Larry Brilliant, that's where all of these fantastic people are heading to. It's going to be the final keynote of the session, so yeah, really high energy, ending on a high.
Beautiful, scroll some more, let's see what else you can discover.
So people are talking about the Cisco Gateway, optimizing workload, and and lots of gift bags, lots of different good giveaways and freebies that people have got.
Where's my gift bag? You got a sweatshirt earlier.
I did. I got something great. All right, so that wraps up this section.
It does. We are headed into the keynote very, very shortly. We're like 6-7 minutes away. Again, people are flooding back to that keynote space. The doors are open and the music is pounding. It's a party back inside that keynote area. Are we ready to head out? Oh, we are. I've got Igarim and Rob back up here on the show floor. What is going on out there in keynote space? We're jealous.
Thank you, Steve. So we're here at keynote just behind the TV studio, actually. And here's the entrance to the keynote, and you see a lot of people going into the keynote. Right there.
Yeah, it starts to make me think that we should be getting our seats. Well, there's even other camera people. We might have a rumble a little bit later. I'll tell you what, though, I'll put my crew up against anybody's crew here. That guy doesn't scare me, even if he's holding a Ronin. Who gives a hoot? So he can't hold it on his shoulder like Steve does, and I'm not letting you talk as usual. Yes, you were saying, Igarim?
Before we go into the keynote, what were the highlights so far for you at Cisco Live this year?
My highlights are everything we've just recently done, because that's usually the only thing I can remember. But no, it's been the last moment. It's, for me specifically, and we'll just get personal since we already started to get personal here, it's the fun that we get to have. One, I got to meet you, and we've been able to work together on this, and Nish, of course, it's been a joy to work with, and we'd kind of met each other remotely at first, but this has been a lot of fun, coming in at the last second and then totally putting our lives on the line with our crew, and just at the last second sometimes getting an update, a change. But every one of these guys, some of which weren't able to show because they're literally holding our own camera here. When it comes to memories, I know that's not Cisco specific in terms of the event or something like that, but it's just something that means a lot to me because you and I, we're dead in the water, right? I
think it's the people that always make the difference, right? So I think we had a really amazing team, and the crew was amazing. It was such a pleasure to work with all of you guys. Yeah, just no words for it.
Yeah, you're getting all choked up, aren't you?
Yeah. Getting all sentimental.
Well, you want to throw back to the studio?
So I'm going to throw it back to the studio.
Right, thank you so much, appreciate it, guys. We're going to keep relying on you to be our eyes and ears out there on the keynote floor as we continue to work here in the studio area. Igarim was sort of jumping to what we normally do post-keynote, which is talking about how amazing it is to all be together in this particular space and to be able to play together over the course of a few days, and it's amazing how the team coalesces, and that's very hard to describe to those of you guys who are watching, but part of the reason Igarim was getting a little weepy and sentimental is we have to say goodbye to our dear Nish.
I'm not ready to say bye yet.
Well, then why are you going getting on a BA flight, heading out the door? Why don't you stay here and play with us? Where are you headed, by the way? Go ahead and let us know why you have to cut out a little bit early.
I have to head out early because I'm heading to San Francisco. I've got some exciting presentations to do there, but it means that I have to leave a little bit early, but I have had a blast at the show. It's my first ever Cisco Live. Not my first time hosting, my first time attending and hosting. And it's crazy to think that we didn't know each other as four hosts before, so I'm so pleased. I had such a good time.
It's so fun. We all met each other, well, not all. Rob and I have been doing this a number of years, but for Igarim and for Nish, they showed up. We had met them before in a couple of calls, but to say that you've done yeoman's work and that you've been spectacular on this show, it doesn't even begin to sum it up. This is very, very challenging. It takes a huge amount of energy and it takes an incredible commitment. And Nish, you've been spectacular, and I've loved the time and the opportunity. Well, that is incredibly kind of you. Safe travels. Thank you for everything you've done here. Give them some great sign-offs.
Well, I do have one thing to say actually, is although I am leaving the studio, I'm going to be using the hashtag CLEUR, so you can continue following me on my journey. I'm going to be watching the keynote on CiscoLive.com as well, using the online hub. So yeah, looking at everyone's tweets and watching the keynote as well, which is going to be very exciting.
It is going to be so exciting. Nish has been our social media mom here on this one, I guess. Being the youngest of our crew, not to say that you're young, but you're the most adept at utilizing the social media, and we've relied on you very heavily. So keep doing it, keep talking to us. Again, keep talking to Nish if you want to post comments at hashtag CLEUR, and go ahead and hit Nish on her Twitter feed. She'll be happy to write back to you.
I will.
We're going to miss you, friend. Safe
Thanks,
travels.
Steve. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Woohoo! All right, so we are again heading into the closing keynote. It's coming up just about 4 or 5 minutes from now. The energy, the vibe in here, I can't really even explain it to those of you who are watching. We're going to head back over to Rob and to Igarim, who are in the keynote space right now. Guys, what are you seeing?
I'll tell you what we're seeing. Well, first it shocks me after seeing all those people that were coming in and you're like, oh my gosh, we're missing out on something because there's throngs of people. There was hardly a break in the traffic. Then you come in and you realize, oh, wait a minute, they're ready for this. There's still a lot of seats, people are filling in. very naturally. And I gotta say, I got a personal appeal. Like, I know we're not supposed to really, we gotta talk over the music so no one hears it, but what song are we listening to in Europe right now?
We are listening to Sweet Home Alabama.
Yeah, we are.
Rob started loving it. He was just dancing.
This is a hillbilly edition of TechWise TV here, man. I love this.
Sweet
Oh,
Home
yeah, I don't think we're going to get a licensing issue, though, if we start singing it. So this is a great setup. I wish that they would come in and do this kind of thing for the keynote, because I feel like this is the kind of energy that I'm like, oh, this is great. I'm ready to keep going. Do you like it?
I love it. I love it. And there's so much energy and enthusiasm. And I think everyone's coming in, and yeah, there's just this anticipation of something amazing coming.
Well, so you're from Amsterdam. I'm just curious if this Sweet Home Alabama, is that a song that you recognized immediately? You said you knew what it was.
I think
is that
it's a
from
very
movies,
popular
or do you guys
song.
listen to some of the hillbilly stuff?
I think you'd know that. Yeah, it is from a movie, right?
Yeah, what?
I'm afraid to say something wrong, and then you're gonna laugh at me.
I will not laugh at you
song
whatsoever.
at the end, right?
No, absolutely. Oh, we get a little break between while the band is playing here. And in just a moment, we're going to try and find out a little bit of some attendees, talk to some people, see what's happening. We'll go back to you, Steve, right now.
Thank you so much, Rob. I appreciate it. And Agarim, do not hold back. You had it exactly right. It's a great movie. In case you're wondering, by the way, where Agarim hails from, I'm just going to go ahead and reveal some background information. She's from Kazakhstan. We've actually been talking about that quite a bit. It's a place that I didn't know a ton about. She and I have been talking all week. Now Amsterdam is home as she helps to represent Cisco as one of the amazing Cisco people on the security side, which is where a lot of her expertise and depth comes from. But the fact that she knows the movie Sweet Home Alabama and knows every word of this song, very, very impressive. Like I said, we are headed into the keynote. The doors to the keynote are actually directly back behind me. I don't know if you can see them where I'm pointing back over here or waving, gesticulating wildly to the side, but the doors are maybe, what do we got, like I don't know, 100 meters or back or so behind me. We've got Sweet Home Alabama coming through directly onto the stage here as well in the studio. The energy here is so great. It has been all week long, and really, if you think about it, this all kicked off with Dave Geckler's keynote back on Tuesday morning, where he set the stage for the dynamic and the energy of the entire show, just really discussed what it is that we were going to be covering, not only in the technology, but where we have arrived here at Cisco and with our amazing partnerships that are helping to deliver the digital future to the entire industry. We're grateful to Dave for starting us off, and now we have come full circle and we are headed back into that keynote space with Dr. Brilliant kicking off in just a couple of minutes. We're going to go back out onto the very exciting, very noisy keynote floor with Igarim. Who have you got there with you, my friend?
Thank you, Steve. I'm here at the keynote space together with Andrei Jelenik. Hi, Andrei, how are you?
Hey, good evening to everyone. Well, I'm well, thank you very much.
I see that you're sitting on the first row at the keynote, so you're really excited, I guess.
Yeah, of course, but I accidentally ended up here, so but I'm gonna enjoy it, definitely.
So tell me, what were your highlights of Cisco Live?
Well, a lot of energy, a lot of new ideas, great examples. Cisco Live as it's supposed to be.
So what do you do? Like, are you technical? Are you an engineer?
I spend some time with the customer for sure, spend some time with the learning, spend some time to enjoying the show.
Okay, nice. Are there any technologies in particular that you work on?
Definitely, I'm focused on the security. So, yeah, I spend most of the time to learn about security and talk about security with the customers.
Did you do the capture the flag lab?
No, I knew about it. Was watching around how the people are doing with this, but I didn't have my time for that.
Okay, yeah, I can imagine. Well, Andrei, thank you so much. Thanks a lot, and enjoy the keynote.
Thank you very much. Welcome.
Back to the studio.
All right, thank you, Andre, for taking the opportunity. I know it's not always so easy. That camera comes around, we shine a light in your face, and somebody grabs a microphone and says, hey, talk to me. Tell me who you are. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but we are always very grateful when people tell us their stories. We have said it again and again throughout this broadcast. It is about the people. It is about the human connections. That's what Cisco has always been about, and that's really what the Cisco Live events are all about, and that's why we want you to get to these shows. When the event comes into your area, or even if it's not close by, go ahead and register, be involved. We want to see all of you in San Diego coming up in June as well. If you haven't registered yet, boy, now is absolutely the time to make that happen. It is the 30th anniversary, by the way, of Cisco Live, and we want all of you in beautiful, sunny Southern California with us. My hometown, by the way, San Diego is where I was born and raised, and so I'm always happy to bring it back there. I'm seeing slightly out of my left peripheral vision that Rob Boyd has found a willing victim, somebody wonderful here at the show to talk with. Rob, who have you got?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to make friends here, and everybody's really friendly until they find out I've got a microphone and a camera, and then things get a little bit more tense. But either way, this gentleman, first time experience at Cisco Live. I'm shouting a little bit so that he can hear me as well. But this is, you said you grew up in Poland, but you're working in the UK now. Can you tell me a little bit about first your company? You guys do some interesting things as well.
Yeah, as a company we produce something called sequencer. So from your blood sample, we sequencing your DNA, so that can help you in the future to make a better decision on your treatment. And we produce lots of data. All our data centers are on the Cisco. So I've been sent here to see a little bit more about the Cisco. And I'm really enjoying. This is my first time here, but I love it. I really love it. Yeah.
Yes, I'm curious, did you have any expectations from anyone else about what to expect, or did you have a list of things you wanted to learn or experience while you were here, and whether that happened or not?
So I had no expectation whatsoever, but everything what I've seen here is way above of everything. So this is really great experience for me. So yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Well, we sure appreciate you coming. It's all about connecting people. We want to make sure that you had a good experience and that we make you a Cisco fan for life, if you weren't already. But either way, thank you for being willing to talk to me. I appreciate it. And with that, we'll go back to the studio.
Shout out to Poland and first-time visitor here to Cisco Live. Until you get in the space, until you feel it for yourself, until you start having these interpersonal connections that Rob was just mentioning, seeing all the technology lined up, all of the great storytelling, until you see it and experience it for yourself, it's really hard to explain. That's kind of our job here at Cisco TV and in this broadcast, is to try to bring it to life, to bring you behind the scenes, to welcome you into the entire process. But boy, being here, there is just nothing like it. We cannot encourage you enough to be a part of it. I'm not always positive that we're going to be able to bring the camera right up to you and ask for your story, but we are going to try. I hereby promise you that. We are creating this great world of potential. It's not just the technology. Again, it is the people, it is the partners, it is the customers. It's bringing all of these elements together to create not just the Cisco story, but the global story on advancing digital transformation, getting your industry where you want it to go and being a key part of that disruption. We invite you all to be a part of it, and we're glad to have you all within our Cisco Nation family. We're going to head back out to the keynote at least once or twice more. Igrim, do you have a new friend out there as well?
So we are here at Keynote Space, and I've got Anu Katari with me. Hi Anu, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm doing very well, thanks.
So have you enjoyed Cisco Live?
Great. It's been a great experience. Every time I come here, I think the bar just rises higher.
What were the best sessions for you?
Well, we've been in the Enterprise Networking Forum, and we've been showcasing some of Cisco's innovations that we've been doing. I think having customers, partners, and even Cisco experts, right, come and validate what we're trying to do is a great high for me.
And where are you based?
I'm based in Bangalore, that's India.
Nice, cool. And what is your role?
Well, I'm a technical documentation manager. We write documentation for all of Cisco's products.
Nice, well, thank you. Thank you so much. Great to speak to you. And now back to the studio.
Thank you so much, Igor. Boy, I give you mad props for talking over the Van Halen. You got David Lee Roth kind of cranking it out there back there behind you, and you're still having good conversations. Take a look at the shots that you're seeing up here live. This is coming to you live wherever you are viewing this broadcast anywhere in the world. We've got the band up there on stage, ripping it down. Great light show. It is a rock concert. We are packing almost 12,000 people into that keynote space, keeping them entertained and helping to drive all the way up to our closing keynote with Dr. Larry Brilliant. It's going to be phenomenal. And again, we're so glad to have you here on the broadcast with us. Hopefully you have been tuning in as much as possible since Tuesday. Tuesday. Again, we just showed you what it takes to get this entire thing set up, and according to my show clock that is down below, we've got a little less than 2 minutes before we go live to that keynote space. We're going to go right back out into the house. We have time for one more quick conversation between Rob and Igrim. Guys, can you hear me over the band?
No, I really can't hear you. I mean, I heard enough, obviously. But if you notice, the band was already giving everybody a hard time because they're sitting here. And you're like, come on, you guys need to jump and dance. And nobody jumps, nobody dances. I'm sweating my tail off here. How about you?
I can't hear you, Rob. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. I'm not saying anything really that valuable
Music
anyway.
is way too loud.
It's hard to talk here, but look at this band. They're working their tails off. Everybody here's just sitting here and go,
There you go.
you got to work the song, man. This is rock and roll. All the way
Doing
up.
great. You just rock out. You just dance and you sing and do whatever it is that you need to do. Again, we are about 1 minute out from getting underway with this phenomenal keynote. Imagine the future with intuitive IT. We're informing, we're connecting, we're predicting. All right, we're going to head over to the keynote in just a few seconds. Enjoy. We'll see you as soon as it's done.